So I thought, that was good for us. We brought the warm weather in back to East Coast.
Today was okay.
Awesome. Let me see. Do you guys see my desktop?
Yep.
Yes.
Cool. Awesome. Welcome, guys. Let me go ahead get started. So, what do we see tomorrow? I guess I'm not going to go too much details. The whole idea of today's session, just share with you a few minutes what's happening and some of the tickers that I'm thinking to trade. And meanwhile, if you guys have also any tickers that you want us analyze or just take a look at it, let us know. We'll go over that. But before we start, everything we are sharing, we want to make sure we get the disclaimer out of the way. This is not a financial advice, not a financial advice. Everything we are sharing only educational purpose only. If you are new to the stock or crypto or any type of investment, do your own homework. Nobody can tell you what's gonna happen tomorrow. So this some of the stuff I shared before. I think those who already saw the recording, you may already know. But the key thing is here, those who has not seen the recording, watch it. But also some of you might be still thinking that you do not want to get in stock, or is the market going down, or what's happening. But what you're seeing at S&P, this is the index that use on S&P 500, meaning top 500 companies, based on earnings and some other criteria. It can give you indication of the market if it's going to go high or it's going to go down. But since 2018, what you're looking at, that the time market went down, we know that 2018 that our market pullback, 2019 market pullback, you said that there was when it's a pullback, it went down and it got a correction, like you say around March 20, around that time it's almost like 30% went down the market. However, 2021 we say that it's came back up. 2022 is came down. Now 2022 is down. Since January 3rd, this year 2022, the market got 12% correction. Can it go down more? You make the conclusion. Everything happening, what's happening, nobody knows. Nobody can predict what's going to happen tomorrow. Are we going to face another world war, or are we going to face another shutdown, or are we going to have like big recession like crazy, like what happened 2017, with the different circumstances where the country is facing some of the inflation that is coming almost like 8%, 10%. Things are going crazy, like crazy price wise. And these also I shared with you before. However, that before in the recording, but here tells you the last week what happened and this. But the thing is, I wanna start from someone think here, starting today. Look at last month. What happened S&P? 10%. If comparing last month in a month, it seems like closing by Friday, we are almost like 10% up. Amazon up, Microsoft barely stayed up, although what happened, Microsoft, Amazon, Google, Apple, what really happened within a month? Those who is very active in the market, that earnings came in, earnings number was really good. However, although that company had a very good earnings, some of them lost all the gain. Some of them still trying to figure out to stay positive within a month. In a month, Tesla 13% down, crazy. Home Depot, what really happened? We know there is a lot of inflation happening, a lot of shortage in this industry. Home Depot stock is 11% down. So when you look at some of this company, they are really down in a month. Can it go down more? You never know. It can, right? What happened within last week? Last week in a week, that's not bad. We saw that whole Friday, the Thursday, Friday, market dipped like crazy on Thursday, and the Friday is kind of came back up from the down. It's like V shape. It's, it came down and came back up end of the day Friday. But Tesla 7% down last week. Home Depot 7% down. Google barely stayed positive. Microsoft stayed positive. So that's When you look at all the big companies, that there are small companies also trying to turn around. We know companies like PayPal, people are still using credit card. They are it's a they this company went so much down. Can it go down more? Yeah, it can go down. But last week it tried to show some sign that it's ready to turn around or make some progress. Boeing 5%, 6%. Look at last Friday. Friday pretty much. If you see only one day, end of the day, everything pretty much it closed. Most of it's closed positive. You see that all the greens tells you. So what that means next week is gonna happen, no one can tell. But there are some earnings coming up next week. But I wanted to have my friend Vinod, if you can share a little bit about earnings, or Vinny, that what's happening on the earnings side. I know that you created some content.
Yeah, sure, Moshi. I can share my screen.
Yes, I think you should be able to do it right.
All right. Let me
Hey
know when you
Demand,
see.
how are you, Demand?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. We'll talk soon. So we can see your screen, Vinny.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So normally, I what I do is start with the market. What happened? Mushi covered that quite well with what happens in a war situation. Last week we saw a huge dip followed by a vengeance violent upswing, um, based off some headline driven market, right? So we're in a headline driven market, like Mushi said. We don't know what's the next news that is coming out. You can, expect some good news, or you can expect some worst news with China and North Korea, and supporting Putin. That's bad news. But things may be getting under control with the sanctions. That's the type of news we want to hear. So nobody knows how market will react on Monday. Last week, the sanctions news with turned around the market and gave it some breather. I wouldn't say it's turned around. I would say whatever it lost, it just came back to the normal. So will that rally continue? $1 million is question, right? I don't know. Nobody knows.
Right.
All right. So getting into the earnings, so Mushi wanted me to cover this. Typically, I talk a little bit about the earnings with my other traders group, and I'll do the same here. I'm not going to go into the details or the technicals, but highlighting some of the earnings, key earnings. This is not everything. This is the highlights of the major companies or growth companies that are typically the higher interest. So you can see Monday, there is quite a bit of activity first next week. It's a busy week. And Monday starts with Lordstown, don't touch it, with, stay away, 9-foot poles. That's kind of in doldrums. Maybe one day it will turn around, but Zoom, Lucid, Workday, all have a potential to turn around. No, everything that I talk is not financial advice. I have to say this before. I am just blabbering something that I think, based on my conviction and a little bit of research that I have. So do your own research, and do not take this as financial advice. So though HP, Hewlett Packard, 3D Systems all have a upside potential. Lucid already did a good bit of uprise on Friday, so I don't think it will take off. Tuesday we have SoFi, Baidu. There's Coles and Target. So if you're watching TJX, you might think Coles will do the same. A bit of caution there, although they're similar. Coles had some problems in the last year. They were in the talks to sell off, and then they created a turnaround plan. It's working well, but it's not in the same boat as TJX is what my research says. I could be wrong. Domino's Pizza, Salesforce, Power Plug Power. So there are some good earnings on Tuesday. We have Snowflake, ChargePoint from the high growth sector. The AI, C3 AI is a good one. Okta, if you have watched the growth stocks, these are all big growth names. Best Buy, Marvel, Costco, and Big Lots, Burlington on TD Ameritrade on Thursday. One thing about Best Buy is last earnings they've dropped quite a bit, and the earnings was below target. They also had some other problems as to their stores being subjected to some stolen merchandise and all that in areas. So I don't think Best Buy's problems are resolved. So if anybody is trying to do a earnings, caution there. Yeah, that's all for earnings. Pretty busy week, but it all depends on the news, and none of this matters. Even if all the earnings come in support of the market and everybody hits it out of the park, the headline will still drive the market for the next few weeks.
Hey, Vinny, can you go back and on that screen, your earnings on there? Is there
Sure.
anyone in this group playing earnings or looking into any of this company that you might play this week?
I have a point to make. I don't play earnings personally. I think it's a bit of a gamble. I mean, you see a lot of companies report great earnings, especially recently, and their stock will just tank, or vice versa. I mean, I don't know if you remember a few weeks ago, Amazon reported earnings that, in my opinion, were not very good. They beat on EPS, but pretty much everything else was a miss. Their forecast for 2022 was not very good, and the stock still went up. So, like, personally, I would have seen that stock is going down. So, in my opinion, I think earnings plays are a terrible move, just in general. But also, another point I wanted to make about earnings is if you look at Tuesday afternoon, you'll see a lot of big retail names are reporting. SoFi, AMC, Wish, Dutch Bros, BioNano, Celsius. These are companies that were huge retail names in early 2021. And I just think it's going to be really, really interesting to see how these stocks move, because a lot of them have been really beaten down over the last year. And I think it would be interesting to see if we can get some of the retail crowd more involved this week. So that's my take on earnings.
Right. Thank you, Demand. Anyone else? I know Delavar, you are also in the group. Chime in if you can. But Zoom, how many of you think Zoom might come up with a number that might surprise us? Anybody?
I think it very well could, Mushi. But I'm in the same boat as Desmond. I don't play earnings specifically, but if I am in the trade, I might do a adjustment trade or a strategy to hedge. If I expect bad news or good news.
Right. Okay. Cool. Okay. Yep. Zoom is one of those things we have seen that in the past, it went so down. It was in 2019, 2020 is a darling company, but since then it just down the hill, I think.
Yep.
Just like Peloton and others. So but one of the thing I'm looking at, although I'm not playing Target, I do think that they might come up with a number that might, shock us. And who's been doing it? Target is steadily they're growing, and it's a very good solid business. Target, and I see the Costco and BJ's. I'm not sure about those company, but that Costco is another one on the retail side that industry is looking to see what they're doing. At some point, some of you know that this company Wish, Salesforce and Wish, I think is on IT side. Delavar, are you there?
Yes, I'm here, Mushi. I wanted to share something, but I want to let you finish.
Okay, yeah. As a call, the Wish is one of the company. I think it's work. I know a lot of people lost money on it. It's just like it's behaving like penny stock to me. So I don't play with it, but I hear all the time people tell me, "Hey, what do you think about this company Wish?" Well, I don't know much about it, but yep, go ahead. I'm done. I don't play also on earnings, but this is something, and I will see if some of this stock goes down more. I might look into it. But the one I'm looking, if by any chance like a target keep going down, any earnings time is always hit it or miss it. Target, I sold it, but I want to get back in target.
Exactly. Those are the kind of opportunities where strong stocks when they have a hit on earnings. Amazon is a good example, right? We saw the dip and then it came back and
It came
recovered
back,
it.
yeah, correct, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. Go
All
ahead.
right.
The
So
lover.
that's about earnings. Any questions anyone has on the?
Yeah, I have a really quick question. It's about the S&P 500 in general.
Mm-hmm.
I've been thinking of putting some money into it, but I wanted to get some fund that doesn't nickel and change me to death. Some low fee S&P 500. Does anybody, for Canadians, I guess, does anybody have any suggestions on that?
On S&P 500.
Yes, a good fund for that, for investing in the S&P 500.
So on the S&P 500, not, but one of the thing I can tell you on S&P 500, let me see if I can share my desktop and you guys see it. Let me see.
Stop. Yeah, I gave it to Musi.
Okay, let me see.
Where?
Currently it's downtrending, but if you are, where is my sharing screen? Here.
Hey, Mushi. Just to kind of chime in here a little bit. One S&P fund that has fairly low fees, and I kind of wrote two of them in there, is VOO, IVV. Those have generally low fees. Although, if you're looking for, so someone said Vanguard has very good ETFs with low cost, which is correct. But if you're looking for an S&P fund that has liquidity, I think the SPY would be your best bet.
Sorry, SPY?
Yeah, SPY.
Yeah.
That's kind of like the
ESPY.
standard
Yeah,
for-
SPY, the ETF, you can see.
Yeah. But if you're looking for something with low fees, once again, this is not financial advice. It's just from my experience. I'm sharing this. VOO is one of them, and IVV is the other one. And I think Justin in the group also wrote in the chat box. So
VO. I can't see the chat box. Where is it?
sure, it's V as in Victor. O.
Yeah. Okay, thanks. I'm looking for the chat box.
It should be on the bottom right.
Oh, okay, I got it. Okay. I got one more quick question for you guys.
Go ahead.
I want to put some money into Cordelia, ADA, but the current platform I'm dealing with doesn't sell them. So I need to find some other place that sells them. Sells Cordelia, cryptocurrency.
Cordana?
Cordana, yeah, exactly.
God. Do you guys?
Cordana.
it-
Coinbase?
Coinbase?
Yeah,
I use
Coinbase should be
Coinbase.
able
I
to
like
do
it.
it. I bought Cardano on Coinbase. In Canada.
Yeah, I would use Coinbase.
Yeah, I would do that.
Okay. You know any other places or?
Yeah, but one
Gemini?
other thing I want to show you for SPY. If you look at it this coming week, right now, currently it's a downtrending SPY on 4 hours and daily chart slowly. But this coming week, if you see this number, what I have, 438, if it's with 438, the only way you can see this is the number on the top. You see here. If you see that it's SPY this coming week, it stay around 450 to 460, that range, then it's shifting the uptrending. Else there is something we call pivot. Pivot is around 450 this week. If it does not stay above 450 this coming week, you might see that is SPY is going to lose momentum. It can go down more this week.
Yeah, I definitely think it's hard to predict
Mhm.
short-term movements,
Yep.
especially in the SPY or anything. But I think for someone looking to put money in the overall market, like the S&P 500, VOO, SPY, both good options. I think the best strategy would be to dollar cost average into it and set like a reoccurring investment for like however much money you have divided between a few months, and just do a little bit at a time rather than jump all in. That way, if it goes down, you can sort of buy on the way down. Statistically, they've studied it, and people who dollar cost average into the index funds do better than people who just like lump sum, if that makes sense.
So
Yeah, I see.
Yep, you absolutely want a dollar cost average if you're going to buy into these positions, especially if you're looking to invest over the midterm or long term. Just because you want to be able to capture on the dips if the stock goes down, and if it goes up, then you either wait or you can just wait, because the year is just going to be very volatile, especially with interest rates scheduled to rise in March. And then, of course, with the geopolitical news that we have going on. So, like what Desmond was saying, yeah, definitely dollar cost averaging would be the way to go for any.
I've never actually done that before, so I'm not too sure how to do it, to be honest with you.
Basically, it just means buying a little bit at a time instead of just throwing all your money in at once. So maybe like every Monday you buy a little bit, something like that, and just set a number for yourself. Like, okay, no matter what the market does, every Monday I'm going to buy $100 in the SPY. That's what dollar cost averaging means.
Would that be good to do with the cryptos as well? Buy ADA?
Well, I mean, it's pretty much a sound strategy for any investment. Cryptocurrency wise, I mean, there's a lot more inherent risk with crypto. There just is. It's a riskier asset, but yeah, I think dollar cost averaging is a fine strategy. I know Cardano has been trading way down from its highs, so if you're interested in that project, then I definitely think it would be a good time to get in. Me personally, I'm looking more at Ethereum and Bitcoin.
Yeah, I have the Ethereum already, and I have Bitcoin.
Gotcha.
One thing I don't have is Cardano. It's low now, so I'm thinking of getting into it.
Yeah, well, I think definitely it's low price. Can't deny that.
I will say the sector does matter. So, like, for example, the S&P 500 versus like a crypto sector. The S&P has been around for over for 60, 70, 80 years, whereas crypto has been only around for about a decade, and that's talking about Bitcoin. So it also depends on the sector whether to dollar cost average or not. But really, the most important thing is to do your research, making sure that you kind of understand or can tolerate the volatility that we'll be experiencing. Historically speaking, though, for like the S&P 500, if you dollar cost average for the long term, then historically it's done very well. Crypto, it's a little bit newer to the game, so I'm a financial advisor. I wouldn't say dollar cost average, but if you're going to invest it for the long term, that would probably be the best way to go about investing into crypto.
By dollar cost averaging.
Yeah,
Just
just
because-
slowly buy in the dip. If you see in the dip and you like it, just buy it.
Yeah, and
You-
definitely
but
just like
do your homework. Don't
Yeah.
just buy it because we told you or somebody told you, right? So
Mhm.
one of the ticket I wanna share with you guys. Keep an eye this week. It's called United Health UNH. Ticker is called UNH. No matter what happens, this stock came down for a long time. What are you saying? It came down. Here you're looking hourly chart and 4 hours and daily and weekly. But look at that on the daily chart. It came down last few kind of weeks, and then slowly it came down. Now it's turning up. You see, it came down to what, around 459. Last few days is turning around. It's just trying to come back up. If you see this coming week, it stay around 475, it's going to go about 490. It can go back to about 500. But here on the 4 hours, you can see the clearly last few days. You see slowly it's shifting the momentum. It's hitting at the top here. Then you'll see that on the daily it's already showed you that sign. This week on the right side, what you're looking at weekly, on the weekly chart, it gives you clear sign that it might be turning around. Okay, So yeah, this is a stock that I played in the past, and I'm looking to see if there is a deeper stuff I might get back in. But I was waiting to get some confirmation, knowing that is this shifting the momentum. So so far it did, but typically, if you are looking at daily or something, those who is very technical, you want to see three green bar comes next to each other. Then you may make the call to get have a better confidence. However, sometimes you can get a false also, then can turn around, pull back. That happens on the short term. But this week, this is the one of the stock that I'll be looking at.
You were saying that's UNH?
Yes.
I haven't looked into that one. I'll have to take a look.
That's a good one. Yeah, UNH, especially at that dip, it can go down too. It's
Yeah,
again
that's a
news round, right?
very strong company. If you are
Yep.
not in the healthcare, that's something you can look at. All right.
Yeah, I
Mushi,
don't think I have exposure to healthcare.
Go ahead, Vinny.
sorry, Desmond, finish.
Oh, I wasn't going to say anything.
No, I was going to say, how about a spread strategy on UNH where you buy the directional call, but you sell
Yeah,
short term.
usually some of these, yes, some of these stock like big, right? The very high premium on directional call. I do sometimes I make it 6 week ahead, 4 to 6 week ahead, make a directional call and just put, let's say here, what I would do when I go into this, I do not nowadays I don't put too much upfront capital if I go on there, because I see that there is a strong resistance around 470, 475, right? So what I would do, I would try to get at the money, call, buy, sell it like around, let's say 520 or 520, 510. So in
Yeah,
case market pull back, I know this guy is also losing his money. So then I'm okay because I got time next 4 weeks to 6 weeks.
exactly. That has been
But
my strategy
but yeah,
for.
usually instead of yeah, the like it's a directional right now is direction momentum is upside, so I'll play with the call side. Correct.
Oh, Mushi, I actually have to go, unfortunately. But when's the next meeting? I was just wondering that. I wanted to ask that.
You are looking at in the moment in the meetup, right? Demand.
Yeah.
In the meetups, I posted it. Usually, we do it every Sunday and Tuesday is for free event, but we have events like every day we do for internal members that we
Okay.
meet. So,
Tuesday is the next one?
but Tuesday is the next one. This coming Tuesday, I if not there, I will post something in. Sometimes,
Okay.
depending on my time, I am not able to do it. However, I wanted before you go. Last week, I remember you joined. Did you play that Iron Net I mentioned? One of those
Which
stock.
one?
Iron Net. Remember we are going around saying share three stock who is going to trade this week, and
Oh,
Iron Net one
that
of them one IRNT. I mentioned.
IRNT? No, I did not. Why? Did it do
Did
well?
you? Oh, did you not see it, man? I thought I had a couple people ping me later in private. Look at what IronNet, what it did. IRNT. IronNet is one of
IRNT?
those
All right, hold on. I'm looking now.
that technology. Look at last week, when I was mentioning it was around $3.50. You see that here last week 385, 370.
Oh
It went
my
all the way.
God.
You see that?
Wow.
So I had somebody
Jesus.
he pretty much doubled his money. He got
Yeah, wow, what a pick. Nice job.
yeah.
Oh, anyone play Square? Anyone in Square this week?
Oh, no. Square, I'm out
Went
totally.
up
It's
went up like 30% on earnings. It was great. I've been in that one I was buying heavy in those low 80s range, so I was very happy. Yeah, Square, oh, very strong company. Earnings were great. Yeah, earnings call was really bullish in my opinion. So I would definitely check that one out if you haven't. Anyway, though, I have to go, guys.
all right,
But great to
staying.
hear
Yeah,
everyone's opinions as always. So
yeah,
I'll see you guys at the
yeah.
next one.
We'll see you next one.
See you. Bye.
Yeah, go ahead, Vinny. You had something, or you just ask?
No, I was going to say this strategy for buying a longer term directional call and a shorter term selling the call has done good in the last 3-4 weeks. I switched to straddle mode, which I normally do not, but straddles works well in this market where there's high volatility. And as I'm more of a directional trader. Calls, and mostly calls. I don't do puts, but I've been adjusting to sell
I'll
some.
give you another one to play this week. Watch this one. Peloton is ready to shift the momentum upside on the call side. You see that here on 4 hours, it came down slowly. Last few days, it's just shifting the momentum. So this week, especially if tomorrow, if market there, Peloton it touches 29 above, you'll see the Peloton is coming back to, you see it goes within the 34, 35 range. So if you go upside, even Peloton pull back a little bit or go in forward, Peloton is something that you can see. I don't think it's going to go up all those, but at least $34 range, $30 to $34 range. Peloton is a good one to work on this coming week. Okay. I know somebody shared something. Delavar, you had something else?
Yeah, sure, Mushi. I wanted to share this ticker that I've been looking at for a while. I think you mentioned it in a group a while back, and since then I've kept my eye on it, and it's had some interesting price action and interesting insider activity going on. So I wanted to share with the group. Possibly you guys can benefit off of it.
Yeah.
So let me see if I can share
You
my
are a
screen.
presenter. If you want, you are share. You can share. Go ahead. There, we can see your desktop.
Are you able to? Okay, very good. Can you guys see the two charts?
Yep.
The left and the right? Yep. Okay, perfect. Yeah, so this company I've been looking at for quite some time. Just for those of you that don't know me, my name is Delavar. I come from a healthcare/pharma background, and I've worked with Mushi for a while, and with Urban Food, and it's always been a pleasure. But anyways, that's a little intro. But this company right here, Namora Medical, it's been having some very interesting price action, as you guys can see. Right now, what I'm looking at here is the weekly chart. And some of you might be like, what the heck? Like, why are you looking at the weekly chart? In my opinion, from my experience and from my research, I've realized that the larger time frame you look at sometimes, the more, I guess you can say, validity the chart has, versus you're looking at like a 1 minute chart or 5 minute or 1 hour. So this is what I'm looking at right now. And as you can see, this right here has been an area of support for this company, right? And this right here has been 1, 2, 3, 4. And it's this similar trend where it dips low to this area of support, and it shoots up and then comes back here and it shoots up again. And it's done that various times, as you can see here, 1, 2, and right now it's doing it again. Now, I'm not saying that it's going to go up, right? Once again, no one knows. There's no guarantee. Although what we can see is it's repeating a similar pattern. This right here seems to be the mid support / resistance, and we can possibly anticipate it to go back up to this area because it is in a very strong area of support. RSI is very low. Now, if I were to switch this over to the daily chart, we're also seeing sort of a pattern here, right? We're kind of seeing this resistance line that has formed for quite some time, and now it's almost at an area where it's squeezing out at the support. So at this rate, what we can possibly see is a break above this resistance line right here, alongside above 4.8, and a bounce from this, and possibly revisit this mid support area. Now, this company is awaiting, just to give you guys some background, an FDA approval. Now that a lot of the price action when it comes to biotech / medical device companies, it's contingent on FDA approvals. But this right here is an opportunity that I've been looking at, and I want to share this with you as well. Let me see if you guys can see it. Can you guys see the Fintel, Mushi?
Yep.
No? Okay. Yep. Yeah. So this right here is a resource that's available to the public. What I'm looking at specifically, it's tracking insider information / transaction history. So one thing that I've been seeing is that in the beginning of February, after a very long time, we're seeing insiders starting to award themselves with stock options, right? Now, we can't assume that, this is for any specific reason. We just kind of have to be aware of it. But to me, last time this happened was in 2018, any insider activity that was sort of documented. So we're seeing some insider activity. We're seeing the price action line up to set up at a strong level of support. So this is something that I've been buying for quite some time now. I'm dollar cost averaging on this, and this is just something I'm willing to hold. Once again, this is not your Standard and Poor's. This is not your S&P. This is something that you would put some money in, see how it does, and let the market do what it does. But this right here, just to kind of give you guys some, I'm almost done. This right here is Dexcom. I'm sure you guys are familiar with Dexcom. So to give you guys a brief, explanation, this right here is the non-invasive glucose monitoring system, right? So people who are diabetic, whether they're type 1 or type 2, it's a terrible disease, unfortunately, that some people do have it. But this right here is the company that kind of monitors glucose levels continuously. This right here is doing it non-invasively. So just to kind of show you guys the market, Dexcom is kind of the main competitor of this company here. This company that I'm looking at is worth about roughly $100 million, while this one is worth $40 billion. So right off the bat, it kind of shows you what kind of market we're playing in. And I'm kind of being an optimist, but NMRD is something that I think can do well, contingent on the approval. And a lot of the float here is held by insiders. That's kind of why we see the spikes here, because when the good news comes out, people buy, we kind of see the movement. At one point, this $40 billion company was worth $100 million, which was right down here when it was around $1, just to kind of give you guys some perspective. But once again, we always have to be ready for the downside. So risk management is something I always vouch for. But that's one thing I want to share with you guys. I hope that was beneficial. I know I tend to talk a lot, and I hope it was of value.
No, it is. We missed you, Delaware. I know people ask me about you, so
No, likewise.
well, welcome back. So I think you guys, we did not want to keep too much, and then you get confused. So we shared so many, and we talked about Peloton, UNH, and what else we did. Yeah. So you guys have anything else in mind?
Anyone want to see what Bitcoin is doing? It's at a interesting fib levels.
Mm-hmm.
Let me share.
Yep. Go ahead, Vinny. You can share, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I just want to flash this Bitcoin Fibonacci levels here.
Yep.
You can see the previous highs.
Mm-hmm.
68,000 it hit and it fell right before that. The magic 61 level for Fibonacci.
Yep.
That's here, shot up, and it's almost hanging out there. I think it will touch and shoot up, or touch and go down even further and shoot up. But it's interesting what it will do. It's right at that 61%, and the news, the war is not helping the situation, but something to watch for.
Yeah, this is trading just like a stock now, and a high-tech stock.
Yep.
That's how it works. It goes in the market. Bad news, just like high-tech stock, it goes down. Good news, maybe it's trying to come back. Yep.
Yeah, somebody mentioned dollar cost averaging, and Bitcoin is the best vehicle for dollar cost averaging outside of the sectors like SPY and others. I have a DCA for Bitcoin that I sometimes increase my DCA when it is at these levels, and decrease it at the higher levels, like the 70, 60 above. So just want to share that.
Yep. Thank you, Vinny. Last week, it did from 34 to 34, 36 to it went to 40 again, came down.
Yeah.
Right? It just
Yep.
within days, for a couple thousand, it just moved so quick.
Yep.
Okay, I think that's it. I did not want to keep it too long for you guys. Was it helpful, guys?
I got one really last quick question, if I may.
Go ahead, Jim.
You guys, do any of you ever invest in partake in robo advisors? Any robo advisors at all that you know of? I've been thinking of maybe going that route.
We have some folks, they have done it, and for them, they just do not have time. And at the same time, also, they wanted to go something with conservative. So some of the people in our community has done it, and they were happy with it, with the number they got.
And what robo advisors did they use? Do you have any actual names of any?
What I would do some research on the Google it and just see, and especially Consumer Report, to read some of those people. But I don't particularly know which robo advisor that he was using, but I know that a couple of people mentioned about it.
Okay, yeah, I've heard about
Anybody in
Wealthsimple,
this
but
group is using it? Anyone here, Robo? If you do, you can either unmute yourself, share, or you can post in the chat line if you know any robo advisor that you think is good. It seems like people are afraid, or maybe some of the people here is not using robo advisor, Jim.
okay, I see. Yeah, I've been thinking about Wealthsimple. I think that I've heard of that one as a robo advisor. I've never used them. I guess a computer chooses your stocks and picks for you. Is that how it works? Robo advisor? I'm not too sure.
Computer has, based on your risk level, it does ask you certain criteria. So based on your risk level, computer makes some kind of decision, and it's like the robot is going to buy and sell, sell, or buy and hold based on your risk. Also, it's
I can talk a little bit about this. Yeah, this is Ankit.
Go ahead, Ankit.
Yeah, so robo advisors will never do individual stock investing. So they invest in index funds, mutual funds, or ETF. There are some big ones. Personal Capital is one. Wealthfront is one. Wealthfront, I think, recently got acquired. So did Personal Capital. There is another one.
Capital.
Yeah, Personal Capital. There is Betterment. If you look at the fund managers, they are doing their own robo advisors. They're trying to get some of the market. So Vanguard started doing that. Some of the newer companies like M1 Finance has robo advisors. There was so I do a lot of index investing in ETF. There was a faux pas that Vanguard did last year on their target fund. The people who are familiar with this, the idea is to not do a lot of transactions, so you don't have any capital gains. But they on their target funds, which is made of individual funds, right? So if you Vanguard 2045, a lot of people just put their money in that because it's automatically balanced every year. Change the ratio based on your age automatically. But they did a faux pas where they sold some of these ETF and bought some. They created a lot of tax liability for investors.
Yeah, because I need one that I'm Canadian, so I need one that a Canadian can take part of. I don't know. Some of them are not available to Canadians, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't know about that part. So the idea is to keep low cost like Vanguard or iShare funds, make a portfolio based on these funds, and there are several robo advisors that can manage that. I don't know of any free one. They all charge something. Yeah, I mean,
do they charge a commission, or is it? Do you have to charge paid by week or something, or month?
I have one that got acquired by Axos Bank. They charge I forget, like 0.1%. There are some ways you can do it, without. I can send you a blog of a site where someone has posted how you can create your own funds with no fee, just by doing ETF, like Vanguard ETFs or iShare ETFs.
Blog. Okay.
Yeah, but it could change in the future, right? I mean, these companies have to make money. So right now they may be offering it for free.
So when you say 0.1%, that's 0.1% of whatever you earn, if you earn anything.
No, I think it's the portfolio. Yeah.
And that's 0.1% per month, per year. Or?
Per year, yeah.
Per year.
Yeah.
Of whatever you have of your capital investment.
That is correct. Yes.
Per year, okay. That's not too bad.
Right.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you, Ankit.
Sure, no worries.
Anyone else? Any questions? Last one. How was it, guys? Anyone want to share your one ticket that you might be